Whew. What's up, everyone? We are live, and I'm going to go tell everybody that we're live. So bear with me for a second while I actually do that. Turn that off, get the share link, and off we go. All right. Got that one there. Got to throw one up on all the other places that don't have live things. Ooh, what's up, V-Dog? Okay. All right. I think we're going to call that good. Hello, everyone. How are you? Shyam Gurnath, hello. Bridgewater, what's up? Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday. And yeah, things are going good. I'm excited. I mean, I've had just a wild couple of weeks. I think I told y'all I launched that for web devs make the same app a couple weeks back. It's been wonderful. Let me actually pull that up. Let's go to my channel and then I'll show the screen. And all right, so I did this this show. I'm actually going to link to the playlist because that's easier. And wait, that's what did I even click on? This one. So I made this this series, and I've been like, it's been great. Like the reception has been wonderful. People are really excited about it. People are giving me great ideas for future episodes. The devs who have worked on it are absolutely wonderful, and I can't even believe that some of the folks who are going to come up on future episodes agreed to do it. It's going to be amazing. So that has been great, and that's led to just a ton of good conversations with devs that want to be on the show, with companies that want to be involved as sponsors of the show for bigger projects that I can't talk about yet, but it's going to be fun. Lots of good stuff coming down the pipeline. So, and on top of that, let's not talk about work. Let's talk about everything else. So on top of that, we got our kitchen remodel is done, and we're able to actually host and everything again. So we were able to do a big Friendsgiving thing, had a bunch of friends over. We hosted Thanksgiving for our families, and had 16 people at the house and cooked them a big old meal. We've been able to cook just for ourselves again, which is wonderful, and all of that has led to us being my wife Marissa and I. We are going to start a food YouTube channel, which it doesn't look like anything right now, so I don't even know why I'm sharing this, but I'm gonna share it anyways, in case anybody wants to get on board ahead of time and be ready when episodes finally do come out. We're gonna start. It's this month. This month being December. I guess it's not quite December yet. We're gonna start doing some cooking videos, and I'm really pumped about that. That's something I've wanted to do forever. We did a few back in our previous home. And they were fun. They were really casual. They were like live streams. And then we got into the new place, and the kitchen just wasn't set up for it. It was sort of like you cooked against the walls, and there was no center island, and there was nowhere to put a camera without every shot would be like, hey, all right, now I'm cooking. It didn't really work. So the new kitchen is set up because I got a hand in designing it. It was set up to be useful for streaming, and so that's coming. That's going to be a lot of fun. And so, that's really where the magic's going to be is going to be over on Hungry Love PDX. We're going to do cooking. We're also going to do like local restaurant reviews and stuff like that. It's heavily inspired by another web dev with a channel, Bryn Jackson. Let's see, what's the actual website? coldflave.com. Bryn and his wife have both done. They've like, this isn't their job. At least I don't think this is their job. Definitely didn't start as their job. They just started like reviewing stuff that they liked. So they're in LA, I believe, and they just kind of like dig into all this stuff around cooking, and they're really good at it. They do a great job. And when I was watching this, what I realized was I was overcomplicating it, because I was thinking to myself, if I want to do a cooking channel, I want it to be like Julia Child, like it's going to be, very much like the joy of cooking at home, and really well lit and professionally mic'd, and we're going to have the roast in the oven while we make the one that goes into the oven, so that you can do the old switcheroo live kind of thing. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Why don't we just make content? I don't know. Sometimes it's really easy to overcomplicate stuff, So anyways, that's something that we've been working on that I'm very excited about. I've also brought back camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. All right, this is something that I've had forever. I just didn't set up the second camera over here because I wasn't quite sure. Like, I'm still kind of unhappy with this. Like, there's nothing here. What should be here? There used to be a plant, but that plant didn't get enough sunlight, and so it got all sick, and it's in the plant ER right now. Hopefully we're going to be able to save it. But so I don't know, maybe I'll get some fake plants, or maybe I'll try to find some furniture that looks good over there. But either way, needs work, right? Someday it'll happen. What's up, Todd? Thank you for the sub. Dual camera is indeed back. Surly Dev, how are you? Oh yeah, I got this I was at GitHub Universe, and I hung out with Joyce on the Postman team, and she hooked me up. Video looks high quality. Thank you very much. This has been a long labor of love. Like, I've been steadily adding little toys to my kit for the last, how long? 5 years. And it just keeps getting more and more over the top, but it is what it is. The other thing that I was interested in, I wonder if I can do this extra camera. I can maybe even show you my setup. Let's see. Is it going to work? Yes. Okay. Let me see if I can do this. So let me add this to the stage, and then I'll day-to-day basis. But anyways, that's my little fun thing. There was no mic on the scene. Great. Cool. So I explained all of that and what it was, but the mic wasn't on, so sorry. Also, hi, Chris. How are you? Anyways, that was a tour of my studio. That's what I was showing. And you can kind of see I run monitors. The reason the monitors are weird colors, that's false color so that I can see the exposure. Got a couple FX3s in there, and then the rest of the area is just like, that's my studio. All the fun toys that I've put together as I've been kind of building out this space. Matte boxes with barn doors. It's all like, I've been slowly accumulating this gear over the last 5, almost 6 years now. And, I don't need any of it. I actually, a lot of times what I end up shooting with is just straight up like the iPhone, because it's so high quality these days that like the iPhone with a little lav mic, like the Rode Wireless Pro 2 mic is so good that you don't need anything else, right? So this is a hobby, not a necessity by any means. Well, yeah, exactly. It's you don't need it, but when you want it, pow, right? And that's what's really fun, is like it absolutely is a complete waste of energy on my part. Like, I should just be making videos, and I've actually been. This is Chris Biscardi, who was up there. I was talking to him about all my, like, I just need to do this, I just need to do that, and he's like, have you made any videos? I was like, shut up, Chris. But no, I put myself on gear timeout for the last few months, and if you look at my productivity, it's like, hey, I started publishing again. But so, all that has been really good for like, I have opportunities to do fun stuff. And coming into the new year, I got some plans for it. We're going to do the first episode of Learn with Jason live, where I'm bringing in Adam Argyle is going to come to the studio here in Portland, and we're going to shoot an episode with him as a guest. And he's going to be here with me, so that's going to be really fun. I hope that's the first of many of those. I'm talking to a couple other guests about whether or not that makes sense. I'm trying to find sponsors who get the value of that and would be willing to kick in to help me cover things like, if I bring a guest out, I got to pay for their airfare, I got to put them up in a hotel, and so that's definitely, like, it's an investment, but I feel like it's worth it. Like, getting that opportunity to do stuff without the Zoom lag, with that in-person energy of being able to, we can like pull out a whiteboard and draw out a concept, or we can, sit down and do it like a talk show where I showed that other set where I've got the chairs. We can start there, and then we can walk over to the desk and work on stuff. Like, there's just lots of really fun stuff going on. Yes, this is correct. Like, but have you shipped any videos? I think this is like, this really is like the key of all of it. Is it's so fun to prep for things. Like, it's so much fun to think about what it could be and make a plan and go out and get more stuff and try to make it perfect so that when you do finally make something, it'll be the best thing. But I've made videos about this. Like, you just got to get the reps in. Like, if you're not shipping, you're not learning, you're just sort of productively procrastinating. And I am the best in the world at it, I think. If there was a gold medal for productive procrastination, I've got it. Like, 9-time champ right here. But I think it's good. And I mean, this is honestly like one of the reasons that I love being surrounded by creative people, is that when I get into my rabbit hole of like over focusing on, I don't know, the piece of gear that I need, having somebody who is doing the same thing that I'm doing remind me that, like, it doesn't matter if you've got a jib if you're not shipping anything, right? And also, like, what are you going to use that jib for? Like, you're going to get one really cool B-roll shot. It's not like, don't. It's $3,000. Why would you spend that? I mean, I still want one. And like, one of these days, things are going to be going good enough that I can just get one. And I'll use it for exactly one B-roll shot, and then I'll stand it up in a corner so it looks really cool. But in the meantime, no more gear. Yeah, gear creates excitement. You got to transfer that to the product. I think that's really true. And I have a suspicion that that's why so many people end up starting like gear YouTube channels, is because they love the gear and they can't figure out how to use the gear for anything. So they review gear to try to get the gear for free or discounted, so that they get to play with it all, but don't have to figure out how to use it professionally. Like that's my current operating theory, because I very, very much want to start a gear channel so that people will send me gear. but I'm not going to do that. Like I don't want to have to make yet another channel's worth of stuff. I want to focus on the Learn with Jason channel, and I want to focus on Hungry Love with Marissa doing food stuff. And I think that's about as much energy as I would be able to manage without like a much bigger production, which I don't have. You'll create 11 total seconds of footage with a jib. Yes. Yes. Like, hey Phantom, what's up? Nice to meet you. Glad you're here. Yeah, I think like it is so good to have the opportunity to play with stuff, but yeah, it is so much better to just like sit down and get some reps in. And keeping things simple is the way to keep things simple. You got to draw constraints, and then you work within those constraints, and it's wonderful. Like, do that. Okay, so pretty sweet overhead cooking shots. So what I'm actually thinking of doing for the cooking shots, I'm going to get into like grip gear for a second. So try not to gloss over. I'm going to come back. We're going to do code. But my plan for the overhead cooking is I'm going to do 2 C-stands with the extension arm, and then I'm going to put the grip in the middle and mount the camera off that hanging, I think. I'm not exactly sure if that's going to work, but I think it will fit in the space that we have without being in the shot. And we're just going to give that a shot. And if that doesn't work, I've got a couple other things I can try that I'd like less. Like I've got some friction arms and open shelving that I could buoy the camera out over, but that feels risky. Like there's a lot of weight torqued on that one arm, so I would really like to hang it from a crossbar. So that's my plan, but we'll see. Jack, oh my God, Jack, I owe you. Yes, we will do HTMX together in person. I think that's a great idea. Jack Harrington and I have been talking about doing a video on HTMX for a while now, because I have no idea what it is, and everybody seems to like it who tries it, so I want to learn it. Jack's done some great videos on it. I think we have, let's see, let's go over here, and let's find, here's Jack, and we have somewhere in here some HTMX stuff. Here we go. And I'm already, okay. Let's copy, let's drop this. There we go. And if you don't have it, this is the video. It's a good video. I have it muted so that I don't even have my headphones on, so I don't think it's playing. But anyways, yeah. Jack's going to come and teach me. We'll do it in person because Jack's also in Portland. And if you're in Portland, like I have this whole studio space, and I don't know if you were watching when I did the little studio tour, but like I've got stuff all over in here. Let me just switch to, let's see, can I do this one and this view? Like, look, these are all desks out here. Like, it is really easy to come co-work in this studio. So if you are interested, hit me up about that and you're in the Portland area. Because I do like co-working with people. It's really fun. Get some lardo first? Absolutely, we will. That's a great little spot. Yes, do come through. Yeah. All right. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some code. So I was talking earlier about the 4 web dev series. So that's this one here. This is, I've got many, like 8 episodes in production. The plan is to launch them monthly, so we're probably going all through next year at this point with new episodes. I would like to ramp up production, but like bi-weekly is probably the fastest I can go. And there's a million things I want to do, and I want to make sure that I'm not over focused on this because I don't want to get sick of it. But it's a big lift editing wise, and there's a lot of coordination and stuff with 4 people. So one of the things that I've been doing is we're kind of iterating. Like the first episode I loved. A few of the other episodes were already recorded and are going to go into editing here soon. But then there's other ones that I'm still working on. And so we're having new ideas. We're going to try some new things and make sure that when they do come out, like, please do watch them and let me know. Cause I'm always looking for new ideas for prompts. Who do you want to see on the show? Like, especially like, who have I not heard of, cause I want to bring on people who haven't been platformed yet. And, I'm always looking to make this a little more of an inclusive space, a little more of a diverse space. So like, please do, like, throw me names. Got lots of people coming up on the show that I'm so excited about. It's going to be amazing. But this week, what I wanted to do today specifically is we've got one coming up that Convex is sponsoring. And I've worked with Convex before. I really love that team. I think they've got a good product. It's this isn't the way that they would describe it, but it's the way it feels to me. It's a TypeScript native database. And what's cool about it is that, like, you define your types in Convex the same way that I would, like, you're basically writing a Zod object, right? And when you've created it, they just automatically pull that back to their database and configure the schema and all those sorts of things. And then it gives you type safety all the way through, where when you start typing, they'll auto-complete your database queries and all those things. It's really nice to work with. And anyways, they wanted to do one of these episodes, and I was super pumped to do it. And I get to work with some people that I love. Like Anjana Vakil is going to be one of the coders on this. And if you've never seen Anjana's stuff, she is really, really good at this. Let's find a quick Anjana video, because she's one of my favorite, like, teachers in this space. Let's see, you know what? I'm just going to link to this because there are so many good things in here that are worth checking out. Ooh, 4 accessibility engineers making an accessible web component. It's a good idea, Todd. I'm going to screenshot that one. And I'm going to put that into my, let's see, I have a Notion doc. I don't think there's anything in here that I wouldn't want people to see, but just in case, I'm going to keep it off screen. And I'm going to drop this, drop this screenshot in there so that I don't forget to credit Todd with the idea. Oops. Neat. I like it. I think this stuff is great. Like, this stuff makes me so happy when we, like, I don't know. I feel like it's so much more fun to create things with a group as opposed to me, like, going off into a hole and trying to come up with an idea and then coming back and saying, like, you're welcome for my idea. Yeah. Todd, that would be great. And, if you want to be on it, like, let me know. Wait, is Anjana on Front-End Masters right now? Oh, okay. So we're directly competing with Anjana right now. So if you want to go learn professional JavaScript, like, go. This is like the front end master stuff. When it's live, it's free. So if you don't have a front end master's course, you're curious, or a front end master's membership, you're curious how it works. Honestly, it might be worth going over there and checking it out right now. It is definitely good. Oh, I'm even wearing my front end master's hoodie today. But so yeah, if you want to go over there and check that out, like, I won't hold a grudge. It's Professional JavaScript by Anjana is going to be incredible. You're going to learn a lot. And you can always come back and watch the recording of this. If you don't have a front-end master's membership, you won't be able to watch the recording of Anjana without getting that membership, which it is worth getting that membership. Like, I would definitely recommend it. It's valuable. That is okay, Silent Midnight Dev. Enjoy, go learn something. and we'll see you next week. Hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing? But yes, so all right, let's talk a little bit more about specifically what we're doing here. So I got hit up by the Convex team. They want to do an episode, and so I was working with Tom Ballinger on the Convex team, one of their DevRels, and we were just kicking around ideas like what would be fun, right? So what is Convex good at? And Convex does a few things that are really good. Like one is this sort of like TypeScript native feel. You define your schema in TypeScript, it automatically populates. You get autocomplete, all those good things. But then the other thing that it does is it will, if you're using frameworks that they've like built out the wrapper for, like React, it's real time by default. And so you can like make a database, and then when you've queried that database in your app, when something changes, it just kind of auto populates everything and gives you the up-to-date data, which is really cool. Like you get real time sort of as a byproduct of using Convex. Then they also have like scheduling and cron jobs. So you can do something like if you want to set a reminder, you can say, okay, so once somebody creates an account, schedule this thing to run in 5 days, and if they haven't created their first app yet, trigger an email that will say, hey, we noticed you haven't created your first app yet. Like, is there anything we can do to help? So that's all built in as well. And that's really nice to work with. So that kind of got me thinking, like, I want to play with that. And so what Tom and I came up with was the prompt for this one is going to be build some kind of like update notification system for a small business. But then just to make it fun, we decided to put that small business in the Dungeons and Dragons universe. So instead of like having to come up with like, yet another small e-commerce store or whatever, why don't we sell potions? Why don't we have a dragon tamer who sells services by the hour? Why don't we have, a local bar that is closed for repairs because the last magical brawl broke out and it got burned down again. That I think we can play a lot with these sorts of ideas and have a lot of fun, and that's sort of my hope with this one. So I have to build my app, and it's due in about a week here. So I wanted to work on it today. That was kind of my goal. And so we've got about 2.5 hours. I'm trying to get this whole app built in under 4. That's my plan. So why don't we start out by just kind of mapping this thing a little bit. I'm gonna do it in Eraser. This is a tool that I use for like mind mapping stuff. And let's see, I want this to be the prompt is actually, let me double check that prompt to make sure that I'm getting it right. It is. All right, here's the actual prompt. Well, that didn't do what I wanted. How do I make this a quote? There it is. I just have to do it after the fact. So build a way to show real-time updates on the website for a Dungeons and Dragons themed small business. That's what we're doing today. And for me to do that, I need to come up with my business. So what is my D&D themed business? Such positive vibes. Thanks, Kieran. I appreciate that. That is definitely the goal here. We're going for fun. Maximum fun on Learn with Jason. You better be having fun here. What's up, Kyrol? Nice to meet you. Okay, so we have what? We have a small business. So things that happen in Dungeons and Dragons, we've got obviously stuff like we've got dragons, we've got wands. Wand Emporium is funny. We've got potions. We have, just general gear like armor, weapons, etc. We also have like we've got magic people, so wizards and so on and so forth, which we could potentially do like magic for hire. That could be funny. Selling stones that okay, I'm just copy pasting this. You're selling stones that have had continual light cast on them along with fancy holders. Basically a lamp store. That is funny. That's really funny. Thank you very much, Lord Nito. Thank you for being here. I think this might be my winner. Like, setting up a D&D lamp store is about the funniest thing I can. Thomas Edison did a variation on this. Yes. All right. Good. Okay. So this is funny. So if we do a lamp store, then my goal here is if we've got the kind of like website. Toilets with a sphere of annihilation in the bowl. That's also very funny. Oh, that's good. Oh my goodness. I feel like that one, oh, let's see. Okay. So that one is very like pun. That one's got a lot of opportunities for puns. If we do it like a toilet, the lamp store has a good opportunity for, like we can make so many good jokes. Like we could have other spells cast on the lamps as well. Like, if you get seasonal depression, this one has like a spell. I could actually look these up and see if there are spells for this, but like some druid spell for like summer's warmth or something that like improves your constitution or something like that. I love lamp.gif. Oh, that's funny. That's good. It's good. Okay. I think my mind started going a million miles a minute with ideas for the lamp store. So I feel like I'm going to go. Yeah. It kind of writes itself, doesn't it? This is great. Okay. So, for the enlightened wizard, or do we want wizard, or we could do adventurer, because then it sort of fits the whole D&D theme. Let's go for the enlightened adventurer, and then okay, so we're gonna have our kind of general lamps. Continual light alone would revel. You are absolutely right. So then we're gonna have our lamp store, right? Can I duplicate? I can. And then we've got like our different lamps in here. And for these, we're going to need some kind of like good naming construction. So I'm going to just do a very crappy drawing of a lamp here. And then it's got some magic on it. Drawing with a trackpad, don't judge me. And then it'll kind of like, it'll be glowing or whatever. And this could be kind of fun to do. I wonder, let's see, should I spend my time trying to make a CSS effect that would let these lights turn off and on? Almost certainly not, right? Probably not. That'll be a nice to have. But if we've got these lamps in here, and then each of the lamps is going to have, it's going to need a name. So we'll have to give them like funny names, like standard. Light dark mode turns them off. That's such a good idea. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you very much, Tobias. I appreciate that. Tobias. I never know what the right pronunciation is. I guess Tobias based on your last name. Okay, so we need a name. I might not do names just yet because I think what I want to do is go through like a D&D name generator and then give them names like, like Bingus Blamps, Stone of Summer Warmth for seasonal depression. Like something like that, right? We can sort of play with this idea, and then we would need like a price. So we'll have to figure out like 2 gold, right? Something along those lines that would allow this to be a thing. And so we'll just repeat that for each of those. And then the piece that I need is a basic purchasing system. And so I think the way that I'll do that is we will make it so that anybody can buy a lamp, right? And okay, so thinking about this from like a structural standpoint, so we'll have inventory. Oh, cool. You can do like actual figures. That's nice. So we got figure 1. We'll do figure 2. That's cool. Okay. So in here, we have our inventory. And our inventory for each lamp, and this will be each lamp. Right? And so the lamp will have its inventory. You will have actions you can take. So you can, what did I do? You can purchase. I don't know why these didn't, whatever. And then, oops. You can restock, right? And we can purchase, we can restock, and then we'll also want to have the ability to like alert or watch, or what's the, like if it's out of stock, you want to get an alert. So we will call it an alert. So the way that will function is that so I want several things to be true on the site. So I want to be able to do a low inventory alert. And like not the fake ones that you see on sites where they're always like only 2 left in stock, but like let's actually make it work. Let's use the reactiveness of convex, that if somebody buys a lamp, it's going to reduce the inventory, and if the inventory drops below 5, we can say only 5 left in stock, 4, 3, etc. Then when something comes back into stock, if you've watched it, and we'll just do something like, I guess we could hook it up to a user account. I'm not going to set up email or anything, but like if you're on the site and you're logged in and you've set an alert for a stock item, when it comes back from 0, we will notify of restock. We also want to, do we need anything else? Oh, and then I also want to have an auto restock after a timeout. So like if you, because we're going to let people buy we're going to just let them buy things by clicking buy. That will, whoops, what did I just do? I think I just knocked myself out of focus. 1 second. Need to get in here. Then I need to push this button. I'm doing remote shooting on this thing, which is wonderful, but it's so slow. Come on, little buddy. You can do it. Disconnect this. Here, we're going to open this up again. And then I need to tap on my face. Come on, do the thing. Where are we at? We in focus again? Yes? Yes, okay. My extra camera was on. Oh, yeah, that's because I turned it off. Okay, that makes sense. So then we got, let's see, close this, and then we have, all right, so anybody can buy by hitting a purchase button. When we get below a certain stock threshold, anybody who is looking at it should see like the UI should just update to say only 5 or fewer left in stock. When the stock hits 0, that should trigger a schedule that says like in 30 seconds or whatever, restock this item back to 10. So that way we sort of have a way to show the life cycle of this thing, and it gives us the ability to sort of like mention things. We can also add, if you say like alert me when this item comes back into stock, we can add a toast sort of thing so that when it does come back into stock, it'll show up in the corner. So what that would look like is we would have kind of a reminder back in stock. Right, we can do it sort of like that, and then we would have, we'll need some kind of a purchase screen. I'm not going to stress about that too much. I think I'm going to look for something that'll let me do this without, like, I don't want to use Tailwind or anything, but I kind of like the idea of just using a component library, so that I don't need to fully design this. But maybe what we can do without designing anything is just get the functionality working and see how fast we can do that. So I'm going to pull up VS Code. I'm going to move into GitHub and learn with JSON. And then I'm going to, what do I want to use for this? I'm going to use, is any of this going to be backend? I feel like I can probably just use Vite. I guess if I use Vite, like Astro would let me do the about pages and stuff without having to write React for that. I like this. Thank you, Todd. Let me find this in a way that I can actually click. Here we go. Copy link address. We're going to come over here. And then we're going to look at, Medium. Cool. Okay, yeah. Okay. I think this is great. Okay, so yeah, we'll work on this when we get to the toast part, and so I need to decide if I'm going to use. I don't know. Let's see what the. Oh, I just want to look at your docs to start. Docs. Kind of just want to look at what the quick starts are and see if there's one that I want to lean toward. Or you can just go straight script tag. I think, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Astro, but I'm going to use Astro with like a single page app approach. So there'll be parts of it will be hydrated that need to be hydrated, but a lot of it will actually just be like, should I just single page app it? I want to make this, I don't want to get into the, like where it starts to get messy is if I'm basically doing a single page app, but I'm trying to not do a single page app, then you end up with a lot of these sort of like bubbles that have to communicate to each other in a way that's not like immediately obvious. And that can be really challenging. I don't really want to get into that. So I feel like, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, 5 seconds plus 1 second for every extra 120 words. I would say, like, also, if you're putting more than 120 words into a toast, it's probably not a toast, right? Like, if you're putting 500 words up there, it's a blog post. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to make this easy on myself. I am going to do, I'm going to do Vite, and we're going to single page app it because this isn't for SEO. I think that's fine. So let's go Vite. So npm create Vite at latest, and we'll let it do its thing. Yes. Project name. This is going to be for devs one app. Or you know what? I don't even need to. We'll just call it. Let's call it D&D Lamp Store. Yeah. And I want to use React. I'm so tempted to use something else, but then I'm also like, I don't want to get myself into that mess where I think it's going to be fine and then I fall off the cliff of there's like that one incompatibility thing. We're going React. I'm going to do TypeScript. We're going to move into the D&D Lamp Store, npm install, and then npm run dev. And now we can go to localhost 5173, and here is our Vite app, right? So then, now that we've got this, I'm going to do the convex setup. And got a quick start here. Oh, they said do this anyways. So then I'm going to, let's stop, npm install convex. And the cool thing about convex is it just kind of like runs in the background and works. So I'm going to set a new terminal here, and we're going to get into my project, D&D Lamp Store, and then we'll npx convex dev. And I want to create a new project. We'll put it on the Learn with Jason team, and we'll call it D&D Lamp Store. And so now it's running. And I guess that was my last free account project. But then I can come back over here and I can just start this running again. So npm run dev. Okay, I'm going to close that up. And then out here, am I not open? I'm just going to open a folder. I think that'll, let's go to GitHub, Learn with Jason, D&D Lamp Store. Did that close all my terminals? It did. Great. All right, so we're going to try again from npm run dev. Open a new one, npx convex dev. Okay, get back to here, close it down, and then I am not going to do sample data. I want to define the schema. So I'm going to instead create my schema, which I'll do out here. I'm also going to just really quickly get init so that I don't have this mess. I want that to be, oh, come on, man. Don't make me restart this again. Crap. Okay, well, that's fine. I guess I'll just restart this. Okay, so we're going to close this one out. We're going to stop this, and then I'm going to close this window. Then we're going to open it again. And we're going to open the lamp store. And now everything is not dim, so I can actually see what the heck is going on. Gotta figure out what's wrong with my Dino language server. That seems bad. All right, so so let's try this one more time. Here we go. We're going to npx convex dev. And then out here, I'm going to npm run dev. And we've got convex running, we've got Vite running, and we've got our site running here. And I'm going to start closing down stuff that I don't need so that I don't get confused out here. Probably only need one of the convex windows open. Okay, so then I can go to my quick start again, and let's create this schema.ts. Lazar, I like it. I've used it in a couple videos. It's really fun. Yes, Dante, I am live. Hello, how are you? What's up, American? How you doing? But yeah, convex is good. I've enjoyed using it, and we're using it for a new for web devs episode that's going to be coming out. Who knows? We're going as fast as we can. What's up, Mark? Boop. All right, so let's get into this schema. I'm going to import, and we're going to do that from convex server, and then that means we should get autocomplete. We get define schema. We get define table. Okay, so then I can export default define schema, and inside we're going to call it lamps. We'll define the table, and then each one of them is going to need an ID. Oh, I need the V also. Import V from convex values. V doesn't have an ID. What does V have? It does have an ID. Oh, it needs an argument. Oh, this is not what I need. This is if I want to link it to another, thing, which I'm not going to do. And actually, you know what? Convex is already going to create like an underscore ID, so I don't need to do this. So instead, I'm going to give it a name, which is going to be a vstring. We need to give it an inventory, which will be a v integer. And we'll just give it a number. I'm not going to fight with trying to remember how all the different number types work. I think I can even set like a min on this. Nah, I'm not going to worry about it. I can deal with that stuff in my insert, like my upsert stuff. Then we've got, I guess we can do like a description. Not that button. The description will also be a string. We'll have an image, right? That'll be also a string. Do we need anything else? I guess a slug. Okay. And then I want, that's probably good enough for now, right? Oh, price. Yeah, good call. Needs a price. That'll be a number. I am working on a little fantasy lamp store. So a little e-commerce app. We're going to use Convex, and we're using Vite and React to make this work. So check this out. When I go over here and I save this, it automatically like grabs my code. And when I had a broken schema, that didn't work, obviously. But then it will kind of run and make all that work. So then when I go to use this, and the way that I'm going to use this to start, I think, is we need, let's see. We've got our main. The main brings in the app, so I need to set up I guess we are going to need a query and stuff, but why don't I set up the convex stuff since I'm in here right now? And this is going to be import convex provider and convex React client from convex React. I can make this a little bit bigger. And then we want to wrap all of that. So we're going to say convex provider, and that's going to need a client, which I need to initialize down here. So const convex equals new convex React client, and that's going to need one of these. Then we set the client to be convex and wrap that around the whole thing. And then I need to double check that it set up my local end for me. It did. So this is another cool thing that convex does, where it actually creates the end vars for you and tells you like I'm in my dev deployment, and it gives you the URL that they're using so that you don't have to configure it, which is, it just, you know, it's like, is that hard to do? No. But does it save me a step that I don't have to go look at their docs on how to get the end vars? It does. And that's really nice. So now we should have access to our database, which means I can set up my first query, and I'm going to do that in here. And we're going to call this lamps, or we'll call it lamp. Get out of the way. Lamp.ts. And so in here, we can import query from generated server. And this is the other interesting thing, is that they like generate all this stuff for you, and which is how you get the type safety. So when I do an export const get, we send the query, and then inside we have our args, which autocomplete. There won't be any args for this. And then we're going to do a handler, and that'll be an async. It gets the context object, and that context object is how you actually query. So we can return await context db, and then check this out. We can run a query, and when I do this, it auto completes to lamps, which is really nice. And then I collect, and that's going to be every lamp in my collection. And I think I want to rename this to be lamps, because we'll probably have like a get one setup in the future, would be my guess, because like by default lamps get is going to be get all. I guess I could call it like get all and get one. I don't care. Lamps.get is going to be how we get all. So then now this is like, that's the whole query, which I think is really cool. And then in here, we can actually use this. So let's open up app.tsx, and I'm going to import, let's see, import use query from convex. And then I'm also going to import the API from the generated stuff. So we go to convex generated API, and then this gives me like my whole reference of like my lamps, my get, all that stuff. So if I go in here and I say lamps equals use query API lamps get, that's like my API is what's generated, lamps is my table, and get is the query I just defined. So as I add more queries, I'll get more options on here. Then I can drop this piece out. I can actually drop out everything here. We're just going to get lamps. So we'll do one of these. JSON, stringify. We're going to drop the lamps in, and then we'll format it so it's a little easier to read. So I can save that. And we're going to drop out these pieces because we just don't need them right now. So then let's head over to our app itself, and we get an empty array. That's That's everything we got right now. So let's add the ability to create a lamp. Or actually make it even easier. Let's go over here and we'll go to convex, and then I'm going to open up my dashboard. I think if I just go here, then I've got my lamp store and we've got data. So if I make this bigger, we've got the lamps table, right? So that's where I'm at. And then if I want to add a document, let's see, is it going to autocomplete for me? I think it will. Oh, maybe not. The name is going to be, what was the one that I called it? It was, I had exactly one name that I thought was good. Canvas. And then go back in here. And we'll do this as double quotes. Then we've got the description. Then we needed our price. Our price will be 2 gold. We have inventory. We'll call it 6. I really thought these auto-completed for me. Maybe I'm just misremembering. Let's check the schema real quick. Description, inventory, image, slug, and price. Slug is going to be stone of summer warmth, and image for now we'll go to unsplash and do like glowing stone. Fine. This is great. Okay. So then when I save, we get this, but now watch, I have not reloaded. And there it is. So this is that like real time by default piece. And I think this is the thing that I find really interesting about Convex is that it's not like they were doing it from the standpoint of like your goal is to go very fast when you're prototyping and trying to make things work. And like this is the sort of stuff that makes that happen. Like I've so far written, see 13 lines here, another 4 lines here, maybe 8 lines here, and 2 lines here, right? And it just like happens very fast. So I think this is what gets me stoked about this is that we're already getting pretty close. It looks pretty similar to Firebase and Supabase. It does. It's got vibes. What's up, Mark? Good to see you. See you next time. You don't see the previous message in the screen? I'm not sure what you mean. Yeah, I think so the goal with a lot of these tools is to make them more accessible to devs who are like JavaScript native, I think. I at least that's sort of my read on it, is that it's trying to meet front-end devs where they are instead of asking them to be front-end devs and also learn DB admin and back-end development, right? So we're very good at writing these sort of object-based methods and queries, and we understand how TypeScript works, right? So if we define things like we would TypeScript, which, this is basically, it feels like TypeScript, right? And by doing that, we get autocomplete for all of our queries, and like everything just kind of shows up for us, and we don't have to worry about it. And then the real time just happens for us as well. I think that's sort of the intention here, is that you get to work the way you would work if you had hard-coded data, more or less. But then your querying it in a way that feels just like any old object. And so I think that's the whole thing. But yeah, so I think this is sort of my game here is like making this as simple as possible. And then I want to, so let's take this a little bit further, and I want to add the ability to buy this. So let's give this like the most basic layout. And what we will do is we'll say, lamps for sale. And then inside here, we'll have like I guess we can do I think it's a UL is the right call. And then for these, we'll do a lamps map, get a lamp, and inside here, we will return an LI with a key. And watch this. This is the other part that I think is really cool. So I'm going to use my lamp ID, and it just works. And then I want to show my image, which will have a source, and I'm not going to do the like cleanup of this image just yet. So we'll just kind of get basic accessibility in place here. We'll say lamp dot name for now. Probably need to get an actual alt description in there. And then we can do the title. So we'll do lamp.name. Then we can do paragraph of lamp.description. And let's do a price. So we need, give it a class name of price. And then we'll put in lamp.price. I'll format this later. Actually, you know what? I won't. We're just going to go with gold as is how much it costs. And then we want a button. And the button needs to do something, but it won't just yet. So we're going to say buy. So what this will do is actually kind of trigger the action of reducing the inventory and all that kind of stuff. So then that gives us that setup there. We've got our, we're going to need to style this a little bit. So why don't we open up app.css, and we've got, I don't really need any of this, do we? Just going to drop all these pieces, and we'll get our, let's name this so that it's easier. We're going to call this lamp list. Okay, so we've got lamp list is going to be list style none. We'll give it a margin of 0, a padding of 0. And then I think I can just use nesting now. So we'll go with our list item and we'll say, let's see, for each of these, we want I want this to be like display grid. And we're going to, you know what? I'm not going to do this yet. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to just get the image and say the max width is 150. And the aspect ratio is 1. And the object fit is cover. And starting, why didn't that work? Oh, because I didn't use an actual. Okay, so this is our basic setup here. I want all of this to be a little bit smaller. Oh, I'm zoomed way in is why that happened. So we've got our basic setup here. We've got our lamp. Let's put a border on this just so that we solid gray. And so there we go. Okay, so now we'll be able to see each of our lamps in a little like kind of crappy ecom layout, but I want to be able to buy one of these, right? And then we will be able to use that buying to set a purchase alert. So let's start by going into lamps, and I want to set up a mutation. export const purchase, and we can call these whatever we want. This is going to be a mutation, so it'll auto import for me. And I've got my args, which will be the ID. And that feels like I should probably do it more intentionally, but I think I'm going to stick with this for now. Wait, is that? No, maybe it's just like one of these. No, that's not it either. What are you unhappy about? That's what I really want to know. Is it because I didn't set a handler yet? Okay, so you need to be import v from convex values. And then I think this works. Yeah, so this should be an ID from the lamps table. We've got our context here. And then I want to adjust the inventory for the lamp with the given ID. So we're going to const lamp is going to be await context db get, and then we put in the ID, which is going to be is this my args? Args, I think. Args ID, yes, that worked. And then, oh, that's it. So then what I can do is we'll say const we can probably go even simpler. We'll do a return await context dot db dot patch, and we're going to patch. Oh, no, that won't. Okay, so I can't do it all in one step, but what I can do is I can go args ID, and then inside I'm going to patch the inventory to be lamp dot inventory -1. Okay, so new inventory is going to be lamp dot inventory -1. What's the thing I'm trying to? That's the button I'm trying to push, or 0. Current inventory. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go current inventory. Okay. No, I don't like that either, because then we could have negative inventory, which is definitely not what we want. So we will say inventory equals math max 0 or current inventory -1. And then we'll just set it just like that. Okay. So now when you go to purchase this, it should reduce the inventory overall. And so to make this easier to see, why don't we also show the current inventory? There are lamp inventory of these in stock. Okay, so we've got this, and now we want to hook this button up. So I can say we want to set up. How does use mutation work? We're gonna say by lamp. I think that's wrong. Use mutation, and that's going to be API lamps purchase. Over here. Over here. There we go. Purchase. Okay, so that I did is wrong, and that's because it returns React mutation. We'll go with an on click, and that is going to be buy lamp, and I pass in my ID, which will be the lamp ID. No, not the creation time, the ID. Okay, so if I did this right, what'll happen is when I buy this, this number will go down. Look at that. So this is sick, right? Like, I think this is something that I really love about how this works, is like, I didn't have to write the real-time stuff. It just did what I wanted. And so now we've got this all kind of configured and running. So then the next thing that I want to do is I want to add the actual stock alert, and that will be, which browser am I using? I'm using Arc. I like it a lot. You should try it. So now that we've got this, though, I should be able to set up a stock alert that will, basically, we can just kind of do some logic. Like hold on, lamp inventory is less than or equal to 5, then we're going to show a message, otherwise null. And we'll just move this up. So it continues to show, but then if I go in here and let's bump this inventory up to like 7, then when I come back out here, we don't have the stock alert, so I buy. Now there's 6 in stock. I buy again. Now there's 5 in stock. We buy again. There's 4 in stock. Like, I can't believe this works so fast. Okay, so we've already got like some kind of a real-time update system. You get a true stock alert based on what's going on here. The other thing that I want to do is I want to add a, let's say, I'm going to move this. How do I want to do this? I want this to be simpler. So I'm probably going to end up refactoring this heavily as we get closer to something that works. But what I'm going to do is disabled, and then we'll go lamp.inventory is less than 1. So even if we do somehow get to the point where you have a negative inventory, it'll just disable that button. So then we buy, we buy, we buy, we buy. And now it's disabled and you can't buy anymore. Ta-da! So this is slick. Like, I'm pretty happy about this. And now the next thing that I want to do is I want to add an alert for when it comes back into stock. And the way that we can do that is, let's go peek in here. And I want to look at scheduling. So for this, we're going to need users, I think, because what I'm going to be able to do is when... I don't even think I need to schedule for this, actually. I think I can make it part of the mutation. Like, when you update the inventory, if the new inventory number is greater than 0, show the toast on the app that thing came back into stock for users who have the alert. Okay, so then the next piece we need is we need users. Let's see, do I want to... Probably just want to use like clerk for this. Probably. Let's look at what their options are. Clerk, Auth0, custom. You can hit any issuer. Okay. Let's use clerk because I know clerk. And we're going to go in here, sign in. And let's add a new application. This one is going to be called D&D Lamp Store. And I'm just going to use social auth for this, I think. Like between these three, that's got to be good enough, right? This is fine. We're going to go with this. Okay, so then we've got the React setup, so we just need the publishable key here. Guess I need to go roll that. Oh, man. Vinny showed up just in time for me to give away an API key. Damn it. All right, so let's open up the local. Throw this in here. And that one's publishable, so I don't care if you see it. But this one I'm going to roll now. How do I can rotate them below. I want to delete this key. Okay, I'm pulling this off screen for a second. Adding another key. New secret key. I won't actually need the secret key. I just gotta deleting this because otherwise mischief could happen, and we don't want mischief. Well, not that kind of mischief, at least. Okay, so here's our setup. I've updated here, and what I need next is I need to change up the integration just a little bit here. Convex authentication with clerk, yeah, good. So we've got the clerk set up. Created the application. I need my Jot template. All right, so I go back to my dashboard. We're going to go to Jot templates, create a new one, select convex. That's all good. And then what do I need next? Copy the issuer URL. I'll copy that. Apply changes. And then create the auth config. So I need this. Let me do that. Let's see. I guess for now, I'll just throw that there because I'll need it in a second. I'm going to copy this. I need to create auth.config.js. Drop this in here, and then I need to go back, get this, and drop this here. Okay. Deploying the changes, they should already be convex functions ready. Good, all good. And then I need to install Clerk React. Okay, so let's go back over here. We're going to stop the server and, oops, install Clerk React. Get my Clerk publishable key. I've already got that. And now I need extra pieces. So we're going to get this piece here. Oh, you're not going to let me just copy some of it, are you? No, you are. Okay, good. So then I can come back out to my main.tsx. We're going to bring this in, and then I need my different provider. So we're going to get this one instead. And then we'll copy this. We'll get rid of this. And like, not a lot changes here, but then I need my use auth is going to be use auth. But I need to get my clerk provider set up. And for the clerk provider, I need my publishable key, which is part of the import meta env, and then I have this one. Okay, so now from an app standpoint, nothing really changes. So let me npm run dev again. And when I get back out to my running app here, it's still doing all the things that I wanted it to do, right? Like everything is fine. But the difference is now if we have a user, that user will be able to like be part of the queries in Convex without me having to do a whole bunch of complicated stuff. So let's look at how that actually functions. Is Convex another backend as a service? It's not a backend as a service. It's sort of like a database, and it's like database and scheduling as a service, if that makes sense. All right, so then we can let's add a little button. So I'm just going to drop this right at the top of our app.tsx for now. Did y'all hear that? Somebody just threw something. They're doing construction behind my building, and I'm kind of shocked that it's not coming through on the mic, but I'm not seeing the sound peak. So thank you, SM7B. You're my only friend. Then we've got this sign in mode button, which I'm just going to stick right at the top here. And here we go. So we can sign in. I'm going to sign in with my GitHub. And now I am signed in, although I haven't done any UI to actually like indicate that. So let's continue with this little setup, which will show us how to do it. We've got this use convex auth, which is here. And then to actually use that, I can do one of these, right? So then if I'm, you know what? I'm not even going to use is loading. Like we can, I will fix this later, but for now I'm not going to stress about the like loading states. And instead I'm going to is authenticated. We'll show, I want to show the user button actually. So make sure that I do this before I forget. And then user button. Okay. So because I'm logged in, I should see my button. There I am. Great. Good. Now if I sign out, we see the sign in thing. Don't do that though. Let's go find our docs because there's a way to turn that off. Actually, I might even be able to like auto complete my way to victory here. Let's see. After sign out URL, go here. Where's my, okay. Let's try that again. We're going to sign in. We're going to sign out. And it doesn't do the redirect. Good. Okay, so now we've got a user account, and that user account can be tied to our convex data. So I'm going to, yeah, you heard it sounded like a church bell. No, it's not. It was they're building a fence back there, so I think they dropped one of the big fence poles, and it made that like ringing sound. Okay. Next step is we want a button that says, I want a stock alert. So first, we're going to need to add a new thing into the schema, which is going to be, how do I want to do this? Okay, so what I want is a way to associate user IDs with the inventory. So like the user should be tracking an array of IDs, I guess. And like if an ID that's in their watch list is updated, we check if the inventory went above 0. That should be fine. Okay, so let's do that. So we're going to go with users is going to be a table. And they're already going to have an ID, but I want to tie them. Why don't we keep looking here on exactly how to do this, because I want to, like, getting the user information is easy. I want to use I don't really want to store the user information. I just want to tie this here. So like this part is cool. You get the user identity for use in your function. User identity fields. Token identifier, name and email. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so why don't we just do this then? We'll just use the email, which will be the string. And so when you save, we'll grab your email out of clerk and we'll put that in. And then we'll watching will be a v array of v.id, which will be from lamps. Okay. So then with this users table, we should be able to users.ts. I want to export default const get equals query. No, this is going to be a mutation. No, okay. We're going to say this is a mutation, and that mutation is going to get args, which will be the email. No, that one's going to come out of the user object. So this is going to be the lamp ID, and that's going to be a VID of lamps. And I need to actually get that import v from convex values. And then we're going to set up a handler, and my handler is going to be an async function that takes context and args, and from those args we're going to do I care if it's in there more than once? Like, I guess it doesn't really matter because we're just going to find the first one. But then I guess there would also be issues if somebody added it like a million times. That would be a database performance issue, so let's not do that. So should I flip this and maybe they don't need to be an array? Maybe I can just create multiple entries for like... Yeah, I think that's the right idea. Let's flip this entirely. So we're going to change this around to be alerts. And, oops, whoa, what did I just click? And this is going to be... We'll keep it with email, but I'm going to change this to lamp ID, and we're just going to let like these. There can be multiple entries of the email, right? And I think that's okay, because then what we can do is we can make sure that this is unique, and like if this combo is unique, then we can, just kind of, if they're already watching, we can bail, or we can toggle and like delete it if they're watching and they want to unwatch. Probably don't want to toggle. Probably want to do it differently. So then let's change this to be alerts, and then in here we're going to export default. What? What did I do wrong? It's just a const. It doesn't need to be default. So then in here, if you want to watch, we're going to get the identity from context auth get user identity. And then we're going to return await context DB insert into alerts. And we want the email to be identity. What? Oh, this needs to be an await. Identity dot email. And the lamp ID will be args lamp ID. Somebody's tapping right outside my window. So if there is no identity email, then we will just return, because you can't watch if you're not logged in. No logged in user found. Okay. So this should let us do a watcher. And if I come back out here and we say, let's actually grab this. We've got our use mutation. We've got all these. So we're going to say const watch add stock alert will be use mutation API lamps, nope, alerts, watch. I should rename that. That's a bad name. We're going to call it add because we're adding an alert. Okay, then we need to add a new button. And let's see. Lamp inventory and lamp inventory is greater than 0. Whereas in this case, if the lamp inventory is less than 1, we're going to do one of these. Otherwise, we'll not render anything. And the thing we're going to render is out of stock. Button on click. And we will add stock alert for lamp ID is lamp ID. Alert when back in stock. What are you mad about? Must have one parent element. Oh. Okay, so we got that. So then the other thing I need to do is I need to make sure that the user is actually authenticated here. So with this one, we'll do like an is authenticated. Otherwise, null. Okay, so now what we should see is when you are logged in, we should see an alert option. And when you're not, which we aren't right now, you just see that it's out of stock. So let's sign in. Now it says that's fun. I hope that keeps going. Let's alert when back in stock. And then let's go look at our data. And it says alerts. And we've got an alert. There's the email. There's the lamp ID. Okay. 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 So then we need to, okay, so now we need to add a little bit more. So we need to check if the current user is watching, right? So we can add, let's do it. Okay, so we're going to go into alerts and we're going to export const check And that's going to be a query. That's going to take args. The args are going to be the lamp ID. Then we send out a handler. That handler is an async function that gets context and args. And we're going to, again, load the details here. And, oops. Then we're going to return await context. And this one just needs to be Boolean, I think. So why don't we instead, we're going to say const alert equals await context db and get, and we're going to say alerts. No, wait, I want a query. We're going to go into alerts and we'll say filter. We're going to say q equals oh crap, how does this work? I gotta go look this one up. So let's go into querying. Filter q equals q.field, that's what it is. Q.field email. And then we want to pass in the identity email. So then that's going to give us, but I need two things. So combining operators, we get a q and. All right, so we're going to do a q and. Q equals q field lamp ID equals lamp ID, args lamp ID. Where am I at? Here, and then one more. Yes, okay. And then I just need the first because we only care if there's one, right? And then if there is something, it's either going to return, yes, all right, so then we're going to return alert. So this check should give us back like a true false if there is an alert set for this person. So then if I come back out here, I want to add a check that's if this user has an alert for this lamp, we want to show the alert, or we want to like give them an option to remove the alert, I guess. We're using Convex is the database we're using today. Let's go with, all right, so let's set this up and just make sure that it's actually doing what I want it to do. So we're going to add one more query here, and let's see, check for alert. It's going to be use query API alerts check. Oh wait, I need to run this inside. Need to run this inside here. And that needs the lamp ID, which is going to be lamp ID, right? Because we're let's see, has alert cannot be called inside a callback. Oh, crap. I got to move all this out to another. Okay, so that's fine. This is fine. We're just going to go out here. And what we'll do is create a new component. Components, and we're going to say lamp.tsx and export const export function lamp, and that's going to get props. The props will be the lamp. We'll figure out how to make that. There's actually a really nice way to make that work. And so then we're going to return, I think actually I have it all set up already here. So we need that, and then I have to go back in here, get my has alert. Wait, what failed? Has alert is not used. Use query needs to come in, so we're going to copy these two pieces here. And I don't know, we are going to end up using that mutation. I'm actually going to have to bring the other one in, I think. Because, yeah. All right, so let's buy the lamp. And let's add the stock alert. Okay. And are we using the is authenticated? We are, so we're going to copy this as well. Okay. Getting closer. All right. So then we need to get our lamp. That lamp is going to be, I can get the type of this actually. I just need to do it. There's a whole thing about this that I'm gonna have to look up in the API. But now that I've got this has alert, I can say if is authenticated. Oh, this kind of sucks. Why don't we do it like this? Let's create a little helper function. We're gonna say alert equals is authenticated, right? So we'll just start right there. And then we can say, or no, actually, no, I hate this. This is getting really messy and I don't like it. I want it to be cleaner. And the way I'm going to make it cleaner is I'm going to actually just make this into a full-blown thingy. So we'll say has alert. Yeah, because I don't want to pass the user around. And then we'll say has alert. And then we'll say add stock alert and remove stock alert, which are going to be the two methods that can be called. And we're going to say if is not authenticated, I don't want to pass all this stuff around. We're going to live with it. Then we're going to return null immediately. Then down here we can say if, we'll say return has alert, and that is going to, on this side, if it has the alert, we need a different button. So this one goes down here. And this is going to be add stock alert. And then if it doesn't have the button, or if it doesn't have an alert, or sorry, if it does have an alert, we're going to remove the stock alert for that lamp ID. Okay. So then down here, get rid of this. Put this in place. And that needs the is authenticated. Or actually, I can just get rid of this part because it's already wrapped in one of those. And then has alert is going to be has alert. Add stock alert is add stock alert. And then remove stock alert is going to need to be created. Which we need to do now. So let's go in here and we're going to, let's see, we've got to add, let's add a remove. Let's remove. And that's also going to be a mutation. And I think this is going to be very similar. So let's just kind of start from there. So we're going to get the user identity, and we are going to why don't we make this simpler? Why don't we, when we get the, why don't we just return this alert? Because if we return the alert, then we have an alert ID, and that alert ID is what we can delete. So we'll do that. So we're going to do alerts, and then we'll get that, and we're going to context db dot delete where the ID is alert. Is there a use action that lets you call it later? Yes, there is. There's some cool things there. Do I have a point redeem for asking questions? I maybe did at one point, but I've switched to a multi-stream thing. So just feel free to ask, and I'm happy to answer questions here. So let's see what the construction is going to allow us to do. But I feel like we're making solid progress here. Like, I think we can get all the logic of this built, and then I can just goof around with the layout with my remaining time, which will be really pleasant. So, okay. So we've got the alerts. We're going to check if they're logged in. Actually, we don't even need to check if they're logged in, because we're just straight up, like, if we've got an alert ID, we can delete that alert ID. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to come over here, and this one we're going to grab the lamp and pass in the lamp, which is a lamp. Lamp. Then what? Oh, we need a key. That can be the lamp dot ID. Now what are you unhappy about? Leave me alone. Type void unassignable. What? Am I not exporting this properly? Here's my lamp. Oh, because we're not returning the lamp. We can just do one of these. There we go. Now you're less mad at me. Okay. So this is busted because why? Remove stock alert is not defined. Okay, that's fine. We can fix that. So let's remove stock alert. Const remove stock alert equals use mutation API alerts remove, and then that needs this needs to move down here so that we've got access to the alert. Okay, so this doesn't feel like it's working right. So let's go back to alerts, the alert ID, right? And you expected one argument but got two. Oh, I know why. Because this just creates the mutation. And you down here need to actually call it. ID alerts or undefined. Oh. So this would be like, this kind of sucks, doesn't it? Why don't we do it like this, and then we'll pass in this, and then we'll do it like so. And then up here, we need to get the actual alert. And then alert ID. Aha. Then if we have alert ID, then we remove alert.id. And if we, crap. I need to, am I really going to pass the lamp ID into? This is getting messy in a big ol' hurry, and I don't care for it. Can I simplify? No, because you won't let me do this stock alert thing. I have no idea what they're doing out there. Can I talk now? This is going great. I have to go see what they're actually doing. Can't see it, but it's right under my window. I can just see the back, like somebody's head. Great. Well, I'm sure they'll be done soon, probably. So, okay. All right. There was a question. How do you take a work project that's been a single person thing for a couple of years to something that multiple people work on both a technical level and a psychological level? I mean, the psychological level is hard because you feel a lot of ownership if you're the only person who's ever written it. What I have done in the past, now to be clear, I have not done something for several years that I handed off. But I have done projects that I worked on for months that I ended up handing off after I was the only person who worked on them. So my psychological attachment is probably a little bit lower. But for me, what I did is I started working with the other devs, and I moved to a like hands-off approach for a while and let them write. Like they were the ones writing the code. I was only there as an advisor for them. And that tended to have a couple, like there were a few good effects. Like one was by not, like my temptation whenever I see somebody struggle is to fix it, right? And so if I was also writing code, what would end up happening is if somebody started writing and they couldn't figure it out, I would say, well, let me take care of it. And then I would just like build the thing. And then that sort of took away their agency. It took away their confidence in their ability to work in that code base. And it reinforced my own delusion that like I was the only person capable of working in the code. So by moving myself to an observer and advisor only role, it removed my escape hatch of saying like, well, just let me do it. Like, scoot over, let me do it. And that tended to both force me to be clearer about what the code was for. And if there was something I couldn't explain, then it was like, okay, we got to refactor this. Like I will clean this up so that it's usable by another human being. That honestly didn't happen as often as I expected it to. Like I was kind of thinking I built a lot of this stuff to mirror the inside of my own brain. So it's not going to make sense to anybody else. But people are smarter than we give them credit for. And my teammates they got what I was doing. Sometimes they were like, I don't know if I agree with this decision. And as I tried to explain it, I was like, oh, you know what? You're right. Like there were better ways to do this and you should just do it that way. And then the other thing that happened too is the code base became less and less mine as the team contributed more and more to it. And it kind of gave me permission to like not worry about it. They got it and they would only hit me up when they hit a block. And then once that happened, then it felt less weird for me to go back in and work on the code base. But there was definitely that period where I had to sort of fire myself as a dev and instead only work as an advisor. But once we did that, like it worked really well. From a technical standpoint, I think the biggest thing is, noticing where you take shortcuts as like a solo. And one, seeing if you can just sort of rebuild those habits. Like if you treat every code base like someone else is going to have to look at it, it will help 6 months from now solo you as much as it would help another dev, right? So that's the one thing is I kind of think like, would I understand this if I looked at it again in 6 months? And usually if I'm doing something clever, the answer is no. So I will try to, honestly, that's what we're looking at right now. I'm looking at this and I'm like, I could just do a bunch of nested ternaries, but like I already have trouble following that. In 6 months, there's no way in hell I'd be able to get it. So I want to clean this up. And you're just trying to find the right balance of like, how many props do I want to pass around versus how complicated do I want to make this set of things? And all of that is just sort of like, these are the balances we got to strike. And, this one, looking at it, I'm actually realizing I think I'd rather just have the nested ternary here because why would I why overcomplicate it like this if I don't have to? Oh, right. So with this one, it's going to be a whole ta-da. And then you? Why are you being weird? Possibly null? Fine. It's not assignable to... Oh, alert ID, right? See? Simpler. I mean, this is still a mess. But it feels like less of a mess. And then I can delete this part of the mess, which feels good to delete, right? And I don't know. So anyways, Bridgewater, I hope that answered your question. This is good, not distracting at all. Yeah, I think they're like doing some kind of metal work out there, so they're just kind of like screwing things into squeaky surfaces. I don't even know what a hammer drill is. Hey, Eric. How are you? What's up, Pietro? Couldn't I do the logic inside of the component itself? Yeah. So I can do some of the logic inside of the component, but what I was balancing was the, like, how much of these props do I want to pass into this component, or do I want to pull all of the same, like, this hook and so on into the child component, which like I can do, right? But for this thing, maybe I'll refactor this later, but I think I'm okay with this for now. Like I think this is fine. It's a little messy, but it's not that bad. Like, okay, if we're out of stock, show an out of stock. If you're logged in and you have an alert, show the remove stock alert. Oh no, but I want to show it if you. Oh, see, okay, but here's the good thing. I explained my code out loud and realized that there was, in fact, a problem. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to take this, and then inside, I need, man, this sucks. So, yeah, so I need like this to then be like this, and you and you, not you, but maybe you. Yeah, this is bad. Like, I hate this, but I think I hate this less than I would hate pulling, like doing a ton of prop drilling into this component, or pulling it out into another file and like duplicating all of the hooks and stuff. Like, it just, I think for what this is doing, this is okay. Like, I think I'm okay with this. So let's figure out how to get this type, which I can do through here. We want data types. That's not it. I want so like TypeScript stuff in here. There's a, oh, TypeScript, here we go. There's a way to get, this code. Doc, there we go. Types based on your schema. This is the thing that I want, right? So in here, I can pull in port type doc. And then here, this is going to be a doc lampsa. Nope, that's not it. Doc is an unused renaming of lamp. Doc messages. That should be right. Oh, I know why this isn't working. It's because we need one of these. There. Now, ta-da! Okay, so if I remember how TypeScript works, everything works as expected. Yeah, my nested ternary. Thanks, Tice. It's a drill that also hammers as you drill. Ah, very, very appropriately named. Could probably do the hook calls for the alert-related stuff into the alert component and just pass the lamp ID as a prop. You are probably right. The alert. Should we do that? You know what? Let's clean it up, because I do feel like, why? Oh, the other thing I can do is I can pull out the ID and we'll just get the lamp ID directly. Okay, so then down here, we've got this piece here. I want to return that. So you go up here, and then I'm going to take this piece, this piece, and this piece, because we're actually only using them down here. Good call, Tice. And then in this one, we need the lamp ID. Okay. I'm having fun. Okay, so then if we come down here, we should be able to take all of this and turn it into an alert. Like so. And the thing that's missing is one. Like that? No, this is wrong. Lamp inventory. There we go. Okay. So that's way cleaner. Yeah, I'm sure that would work well. Keep it. Okay, so oh my goodness, I can't even imagine what it's like to have, like, I don't know. I feel like I can talk through code like this, but I would absolutely crumble if I had to like maintain a conversation. I would be a mess. Okay, so this then should, yeah, so now we've got the ability to remove a stock alert, and theoretically, if I click it, alert went back in stock. Let me go check the database. We have no alerts. Haha, let's add it again. Oh, buddy. All right, so this is great. This is great. We're almost here. So now we have the ability to remove a stock alert, add a stock alert. We can, when we sign out, we don't get a stock alert. We can only see when it's available. So the next thing we need to do is add the ability to, we want to add to our inventory. So we want to, let's call this one export const restock. And that one is going to be this one, oh, you know what? This one's going to be an action because we don't want this one to be direct. I'm going to make the restock a scheduled action. So when you purchase, if the inventory is 0, we're going to schedule the restock in 30 seconds. That's what I want to do. So to do, if inventory is 0, schedule restock in 30 seconds. That's the logic I want. So restock then needs to be an action. And it's going to have args. And it's going to have a handler. And then I want, let's see, we're going to need the lamp ID. That's going to be a VID of lamps. And inside here, we will, I guess, just duplicate some of this. Actually, you know what? We don't need to do that part because we're just going to patch it. Context DB does not exist. Oh, this is interesting. What do I get? Oops. No, what I want to do is just comment this out. There we go. And then I'm going to return await context run. Oh, run mutation. Oh, so I need to create a mutation for const export const add, and that's going to be an internal mutation. And that gets args, which will be the lamp ID, which is a VID lamps. Then that also gets a handler, which will be an async context args. And inside here, I'm going to, we're going to do this piece. Come on. Okay, so then I can run mutation. And that's going to be API need to get internal. Internal mutation. No, that's... All right, I better look this up because I'm wandering in a circle, I think. Let's see, get out here. We've got actions. And so actions can call third-party services. Maybe that's not what I need then. Maybe all I need is just a... Let's look at scheduling. So I want to do a scheduled function. Public functions and internal functions for mutations and actions via the scheduler. So in the messages, internal messages, destruct. And this is an internal mutation. Okay, so I don't need the action part. I can get rid of this. And instead, what we'll do is if inventory is 0, we will context scheduler run after. Delay in milliseconds is going to be 30,000. And then that's going to be internal. Need that out of generated API. Import internal from generated API. Not using action anymore. Okay, so I've got internal mutation, and that is going to be the lamp ID. We'll set the inventory to 10. All right, so this is what's actually happening, and we're telling it to run after 30 milliseconds with the args of lamp ID is lamp ID. Okay. So now, when we hit 0, this should schedule a job for 30 seconds in the future that will add 10 more to the inventory. So let's try it. Let's go in here and let's go to our lamps. I'm going to set the inventory to 1. Okay. So then when we come down here, we've got one of these in stock, and what should happen, I'm going to go to schedules. Right now, nothing is scheduled, so let's buy it. We're out of stock. We have a scheduled function to add, and let's see, that should run in another 20 seconds or so. So let's go back in here and look at our lamps, and we should see this update to 30. And at the same time, we should see this update as well. Any second now. Update to 10. 30 seconds, 10 inventory. But look at it. We did it. We have a reordering system. Okay, so then the next piece that we need to do is when we are updating these, we also need to show the alert. So, yeah. What am I using for the multi-stream? I'm using StreamYard, which I have been pretty happy with. I'm enjoying it. Definitely things that I would love to do differently, but you know, this is so easy that it's hard for me to over stress about it. Okay, so we have our. So you know what I haven't thought of is how to actually display these alerts. So the resource that Todd sent says show it for about 6 seconds, because we're only going to show yeah, 6 seconds. So we'll show it for 6 seconds, but then I need to figure out how I'm actually going to display these. This browser is Arc. I have really enjoyed it. It's definitely worth checking out. Here you go. I should have like an auto response set up for this because it does get asked a lot. But it is a very good browser, and it is worth giving a shot. Totally make this into a game for each specific lamp you have. You gain X wisdom every minute or so. I think this could be really, there are a lot of fun ways that this could be extended, right? And what I'm kind of looking forward to is the copywriting on this, because it's going to be really fun to make up the different lamps and come up with kind of a D&D themed way to bring this to life. Because the core logic of it is, you know, as we're seeing, it's kind of happening fast. I think part of that is because we're doing relatively straightforward things, and the other part of it is that this is just sort of what Convex is built for, which is really, really nice. Who needs cookie clicker when you have lamp clicker? Oh my God, you want to talk about, you know, when over the Thanksgiving break, U.S. Thanksgiving was last week for those of you outside the U.S., and I found this game that absolutely just ate my whole life. Is this it? Is it? Yes. So you don't play this game, because I'm fairly certain I put 12 hours into it. But the idea is you are a paperclip manufacturer, and it's a very casual clicking game. You kind of play it off in a window behind whatever you're doing. It's not what I expected, and it was very fun. And I ended up as you can see, I beat the game. And it did take me a whole day, a solid 12 hours. I think you can go faster. I did not. I don't know if I could go faster. I'm not very good at games. Gaming is not one of my specialties. I would say I am a casual gamer at best, and typically my my success rate with games is limited to like I'm good at solitaire and Sudoku and stuff like that, but then I go play Fortnite and like, oh, I have a lot of fun, but boy, am I bad at it. Okay, so I want to add. So let's talk through the logic here a little bit and what we actually need to be true. So let's get back into the. I can share this actually, so if anybody wants to see it, they can. Anyone with the link can. Publicly viewable. Let's copy the link. Let's drop it over here. So yeah, I think you should be able to see this in the chat, but if you can't, I guess you can screenshot that and transcribe it. I'm so sorry. Actually, you know what? You can screenshot that and then copy paste out of the screenshot, because that's where we're at these days, and it's very, very cool. That's okay. All right. So Jacob is being nice to me. The skill ceiling on Fortnite is extremely high. Like the building aspects and some of the stuff that happens in there is wild. But it is definitely a game that is like, I don't practice enough to be someone who is like competitive at that game. You don't have to be good at games is actually, I think, great. Like I think so. It kind of reminds me. The thing that I keep coming back to on all of my platforms is sort of a mantra. I did this Photoshop years ago, and I just you just live it. Like I'm not very good at it, but it doesn't matter. I'm having fun, and that's great. Hi, Jess. Yeah, Sudoku and Solitaire, like those. You know what I also really like are tower defense games, because you can like play them while you're watching TV and you don't. It's like it's fine. How am I handling the back end for this app I'm making? I am handling it as using Convex. So this is my back end here. I've got all my data in Convex. We've got, let me unsplit these. How do I do that? Separate all tabs. There we go. So we've got our alerts database here that tracks our different, like which users are doing stock alerts. I should also auto clear that once it comes back into stock. Then we have the lamps themselves and like their inventory and everything. So that's how that works. And then this users table is actually unused, so I should delete it. Yes. Then out here. Okay, so let's think through what the logic is here. When we run this inventory update, we need to do a couple things. So we need to check which, let's see, load all users who have an alert, have a stock alert set. Show a toast notification to each loaded user. Hide the toast notification after, we're going to say 6 seconds. And finally, we need to remove the stock alert. And that should be everything that we see here, right? And so this actually probably shouldn't be returned. This should be like step 1. Okay, so we can do that. Balloons, are you talking about? Yeah, I played TD6. What? I have played a lot of this game. It's very fun. But anyways, it's this was another one that like I haven't actively played this game for very long, but I have passively played this game for like hours upon hours upon hours. It's a fun one. So, okay. So the things that I need to figure out. The first one is like, how do I actually show an alert? Like show that an alert is active. And I guess the easiest thing to do would be to have a Boolean on this for active. Because then we could query for alerts that are active. And if there is an active alert, we could throw that. Do we just become best friends? Tower defense and cheese bread. I think so. I think that means that we are BFFs now. Okay. So I think that works. So I'm going to update the schema for this, and we're going to give it a shot. Let me get to the alerts. And actually, I need to get to the schema first. So here's another cool thing. Let me open up the convex stuff while I do this. I am going to change this, and we'll say Boolean. Can I set a default on these? Let's go with database schemas defaults. Maybe you can't set a default value. I feel like there's probably a way to do that, and I'm just not finding it, but I'm going to see type aliases, names, classes, blah, 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 blah. Nope, that's not what I want. Validator? Does the validator have a default? You know what? I don't care. We're going to just move ahead. So watch what happens when I save this. It says that I'm missing pieces that I need for this to work. So can I make this optional? What? Oh, it goes in front. Like so. Boolean does not exist I'm doing this wrong. I didn't mean to close that. Is optional. That's what we needed. Type Boolean has no call signatures. Does it go back here? No. Nope. There's a way to make this work. The expression is not callable. I need an example. Show me values as a validator. All right, so the piece that I need to figure out here is how this actually works. Let's get to optional property, and we do optional with... Oh, it wraps around it, it's not chained. Okay, I got Zod in my brain is why this is happening. Okay, so we go with optional. There we go. And now this should do the thing. There it goes. Schema validation is complete. Great. Now, if I go back and look at my data, I can see in here. Do you not have? Okay, so you're not showing it yet. Probably because I haven't set anything yet. So then the piece that I want to set now is, let's say, active is true. Okay, so now we've got that set. And in here, what I want to do is we're going to do a toast component. How are we doing on time? We don't have a lot of time. I would love to get this working in the next 15 minutes. Let's see if we can do it. Toast.tsx. I'm going to take a lot of what we did in here, because this is the stuff I'm going to need. In fact, why don't we just copy the whole thing and we'll just kind of clean it up as we go. So we want not a mutation, we want a use query. And we're going to do active, and we want them for the current user. Okay, so get active alerts. So this one's going to be called toast. And so we need to, I'm just going to clear out a bunch of what's happening here. And keep it nice and simple by deleting all of these bits as well. Okay. And then the next piece is we are going to show what's the right markup for this? Is there markup in here? Oh, there's not like a... That's fine. I can do color ratio. We're going to do identification and location. We're not doing we're not doing images. Keyboard access and focus. That's fine. So we're going to make it, it's going to be part of the thing. Same place in the focus order. That's also fine. It'll be the same general thing. Orientation. Announcing toast message content without focus. ARIA live. I should learn how this works. I wish there was markup in this article. That's kind of a bummer that it's not doing what I want. What's up, Ian Douglas? Yes. All cheese bread all the time, Linda. Got the actual Postman emote down here. Nice, nice. I'm so happy somebody's using my little dumpster fire. I feel like this dumpster fire was like, I think I drew it in 2020. Before so I drew this dumpster fire and then somebody showed me 100% soft. And I was kind of like, oh, we kind of drew the same thing. This very much predates mine, but I didn't know. Anyways, I also have a bunch of these. You can see one. Where is it? Right there. That is one of my little dumpster fires. I love this thing. It makes me so happy. It's a collab with the This Is Fine artist. Okay. Should a toast use the dialogue element? So I actually don't know if that's right because I don't want it to take over. I want it to just kind of like be around. So I think what I'm going to do is I need to do research. Where can you get? You can get a dumpster fire at 100%soft.shop. That's where these are sold. I think they all do like limited drops. So like this is a Christmas Krampus one. I'm not quite sure what else is available. I think they kind of come out in limited editions and then get sold out. So this is, if you like these, it's a good, oh, here it is. You can actually get one. It is, in fact, available. $30. But they got fun stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff in here that you can get. All right, we have 15-ish minutes before I got to call it done, so I want to get this to work, and I'm going to give myself a to-do here on, I'm going to have to look up how to do the ARIA Live stuff. Look up ARIA Live for announcing toasts. And then we will get... So let's get the guts of this in place. And the way that we're going to do that is we're not going to need a mutation. We're not going to need one of those. We're not going to need one of... I don't think we'll need any of these. In fact, I think instead what we're going to do is run this one strictly off of the active alerts. So that should need no props whatsoever. And that means that when we go into alerts, whoops, not there, alerts, I should be able to export const, what did I call it? Active. And that's going to be a query. That query is going to take no args. Oops. I don't know if I actually need these here, but I'm gonna put them in anyways, just for kind of my own consistency. And we're gonna call this context. And I want to return await. Nope, I need the user. So we're going to return await, and for this one, we'll return just an empty array, I think. So return await context db query, and we're going to query alerts. We want to filter, and we want to return q dot equals q dot field email, and we're going to use the identity dot email, and then we want to collect them. Okay, so this should give us our list of active alerts, and if I'm doing that correctly, we got our active alerts, and actually we can just link over or map over alerts.map alert. And I think what I want to do is we'll just put something like a lamp ID here to start. Okay. So now what should happen is I have a toast component, and if I go to my app and I stick the toast here, what we should see are we getting errors, or are we getting no logged in user found? Okay, good. Okay, so nothing is happening. We sign in. And we get our toast, and then if we mark that toast as inactive, it's, oh, we need to add another check here. We need it to be alerts, queue, and so that's our first check, and then we also need queue equals queue field active true. So now that disappears, and if we change it back to active, It'll show up again. Okay, there it is. Great. So then we need to do our get one in the lamps. Oh boy. Let's do a get one. Export const get one. Or we'll do a get by ID. That makes more sense. And it's going to be a query. The args are going to be a lamp ID, which is going to be v.id lamps. And then the handler is an async function that gets the context and the args. And I want to, oh, come on. Why? Here. Then we're going to return await context db get, and we pass in args lamp ID. Yes. Okay. So then here we want to can I just run another query right here? Because that would be cool. I think that's what I want to do, because that'll give me active alerts will be here. And then I want to return active alerts dot map. We'll say alert. And the piece that I want to return is, in fact, I want to return the active, which will be alert.active. And I want to return the lamp, which is actually going to be the whole dang lamp. So I want to load the lamp as await context db get, and then I'm going to get the alert lamp ID. Does that work? I think that'll work. And then for each of these, instead of an alert ID, should be able to do like the alert lamp name. It doesn't seem to like that. So let's see, it breaks. And it breaks because this comes back with a promise. That's not what I want. So I'm going to have to do in my alerts promise.all. And that should have given it back. Well, now what does it give me? Active and lamp. So alert.lamp.name. What don't you like? Ta-da! Okay. So then what we can do is we can say is back in stock. Okay, that's good. So then the next piece that I need to do is get this piece. Where is it? Was it in the lamps? This piece. Okay. So here, now that we've got these users, I need to load all of the users who have, let's see, we want to context.db. Do I have the ability to just like, no, I don't. So we're going to db query, and we're going to query alerts, and I'm going to need the user. Which is apparently over. Oh no, this time I only need the lamp. So I have the lamp ID. Filter. Then I've got my query. Got my query equals. Our field is going to be the lamp ID. And that needs to match the arg's lamp ID. And then we're going to collect that. That gives us our list of users. Okay. I guess we can just shortcut return that. So then, for each of these alerts, we're going to alerts dot for each alert. We're going to modify with context dot. I need to await. Await. Async is what I need. I don't really, you know what? Let's do like a regular for const alert in alerts, because then we can just do an await without having to do the hoopy jumpy. Context.db.patch, and we're going to patch alert.id. Uh-oh, I'm doing this wrong. Is it of? There it is. And we want to set active to true. Right? Yes, I think. So then all right, so we're loading every alert for this particular lamp. We are showing a toast notification to each user by looping over each alert and setting its active to true. We are going to then hide this by running a await context scheduler run after 6 seconds. And the function needs to be a function reference, which means I need to hide the alert. Const hide is going to be almost identical to this one, I believe. Yes. And it's going to get the lamp ID. And then we will... Don't really need this part anymore. So we're going to const alerts equals... Actually, go back here, because this is what we need. I can probably make this better. We're going to await context DB, and then we're going to query. And for each of those, can I qualify these? Like, is there a multi-insert? Writing data, updating existing documents. Yeah, I think I just got to loop it, and that'll be okay. Oh, we are almost out of time here. Coming down to the wire, everyone. We're gonna do it like this. We're gonna get our list of alerts. Then we are going to for const alert of alerts, we're going to then run await context DB patch, and it's going to be alert.id. ID, and we're going to set active. Actually, I just want to. All right, we're going to go here, but I actually think I just want to delete these because then they'll be done. In fact, that is what I want to do. I just want to delete my alerts after they're set, and then we can return nothing because it's a mutation. It doesn't need to return anything. That gives us our deleted alerts. So we're going to then, this one I think can be an internal mutation. Then in here, we're going to run internal dot alerts dot hide, and we need to pass in the lamp ID, which is going to be arg's lamp ID, and that removes the stock alert as well. Okay, so theoretically speaking now, when we set this, all right, let's double check this. We get one try at this, and then I'm going to have to fix this later. Let's go through when we add our stock alert. So our stock alert is going to update the inventory to 10. We do this. I'm going to change the order on this. We're going to update the stock first, and then we do all this stuff. So when we sell out, it times this one to run in 30 seconds. So after 30 seconds of selling out, we run this add function. When it fires, we reset the inventory to 10. We look up all of the alerts for this particular item's ID. Then for each of those alerts, we set it to active, which means that everybody who's set an alert will see the toast. And then after 6 seconds, we hide that toast by deleting the stock watch. Okay, so let's try it. And then 3, 4, 5. Okay, there are only 5 in stock. Oh, I need to delete this. I'm going to delete this one, and we'll just go for the whole. We're going to go for the whole thing. Okay, so there's no alert. 0 in stock. I'm going to alert when back in stock. And now if I do a split view, grab the data, we can see that there is a scheduled function. If I go to my data, I can see my alerts, and it says that it's not active. So in 30 seconds here, what we should see is that it's going to say it's back in stock. This button will become available, and we should see a toast. We have done it. So that's the full logic for my app built, and it disappeared after 6 seconds. Oh, yeah. That's so good. I'm so happy about this. This is great. I'm really, really pleased because we got all of the logic done. The only thing that's left for me to do now is to actually go in and style this up. I got to make up some more lamps. I got to do some imagery for this. I'll figure out if I'm going to draw it or if I'm going to, I don't know, maybe I can find something that I can purchase, find an illustrator that's fun to work with, something like that. But we'll get something in here, and then I have to kind of style this up, do some copywriting, and I'm going to give myself roughly 90 minutes to do that because I've spent about 2.5 on this. With that being said, I'm out of time, so I gotta call this one done. Thank you all so much for hanging out. You find Arc by going to arc.net or searching for Arc browser, ARC. It was nearly a dumpster fire outside of my office window. And thank you, WebDev Cody. I appreciate that. Okay, so Vinny. I rolled that API key, only one API key today. So thank you all very much. Before I go, really quickly, make sure that you go and mark your calendar for the schedule because we've got good stuff coming up. We have Andrew Powell is coming on this week. We're going to talk about building email with JSX. So this is kind of like, if you've ever had to design an email, it is not fun. So this is an approach that makes it a little less terrible to hand code an email. Really excited to try this out. I'm looking forward to it. We've also got the week after, Razel Scarlett's coming on. We're going to look at how distributed identity works and some of what they're working on over at TBD, which is where Angie Jones is right now. And we've got so much more that's going to be up on the site soon. I just gotta get it listed. So yes, y'all, it's going to be great. Thank you all very much. We will see you on Thursday.